Do you remember that we've been learning about one big word? And the word is environment. Yeah. Who thinks they can tell us what an environment is?
It's where you live.
It's where you live. So your environment could be your school, the earth, your community, where you live. Those are all things that are environment. So
the project is teaching children how to take care of their environment, and that they have a responsibility to take care of the environment, and teaching them different skills along the way.
We're gonna go outside. I want you guys to look for three things. The first thing you're gonna look for is a problem in our environment. Then, when you come back, we're gonna try to figure out a solution to our problem.
The driving question was, how can we take care of the environment and inspire others to help us?
Just look around.
The entry event of the project was, we had built a playhouse for our previous project, and the kids had designed it, and they were noticing some problems. Trash was being left out, and the environment wasn't being cared for. And so we actually went on a walk to look around the environment and have the students discover what the problems were.
I'm just wondering how many people found problems in our environment.
Water on the floor.
The water bottle was on the floor. So you found a water bottle on the ground. Alec, tell me about the problem you saw.
I saw people coloring on the playhouse.
People what? Coloring with chalk on the playhouse. And what do you think the solution to that problem might be?
No, this is the solution.
What is it? You drew a picture of the solution?
Erasing it.
Erasing it. I'm noticing that you wrote a question here. What is this?
How can we clean up the playhouse?
So that's a question about how we can take care of our environment that you're putting down?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Once the students had seen all the different problems, they came up with possible jobs that they could do to help resolve those issues.
Here are some of the problems you guys came up with. Lots of people saw trash on the floor. The solution was put them in the trash. Lots of people saw bikes that were left out on the road. The solution was ride them back and put them in the parking lot. If it were my responsibility to put blue blocks away, would that be my
Job.
It would be my job?
And so they brainstormed a list of all different types of jobs. And then I went away and kind of put them into buckets in different areas: the classroom, recess, the playhouse.
Trash collector, chill pusher, gardener.
Those seemed to be the key areas. And then we designed the work teams to go around those areas.
We have a trash collector, a chair pusher, a gardener, a blue blocks person.
I'm looking for connections in the real world to every academic area. We do follow kindergarten standards around literacy and math as guidelines. And so whenever I see an opportunity to integrate that learning, I just draw it out. As an example, they brainstormed a list of jobs, and then someone said, how many jobs are there? So there was math in making a list of jobs. We just had to find it and draw it out. And that's what I'm doing constantly, and looking for those opportunities.
So the gardener needs some tools. So the tool is the watering can. I wonder what other tools people might need to do their jobs.
A sweeper.
Oh.
So sweep up the dirt.
Oh, so if you were doing that job, would you want to have a broom too to help you?
Yeah.
And then we talked about what would help them do those jobs. So they first decided that they needed some tools. So we decided to design some tools to help them do the different jobs they had.
Something into there that can grab.
Tell me about this design that you made.
It's a broom.
It's a broom. How does it work?
So you like hold this part and you like.
Once they had designed their tools on paper, we gave them a variety of different materials, and they got to work on designing a prototype of their tools.
The Playhouse Work Team is going to tell us a little bit about how to do the job and show us how to use their tools when they do the job.
What about things?
Molly, would you like to start?
This is a tool that I made, so you can water the plant and you don't have to get the watering can. You just can hold the handle. This is a brush. When you need a brush here, you could take this out and brush it. Like this part connects to this part. Well,
This tool is used for every job.
Okay.
And then they went and presented the tools to one another, and they also gave each other feedback on the tools.
How can we teach other people how to do our jobs? And I was thinking about, what do people do in the real world? What do grown-ups do when they start a job and they have to learn how to do a job? So I was doing some thinking about that, and I asked some parents if they wanted to share that.
Once we decided how we wanted to share this information with others, a parent came in and told us some ways that he learned to do a job, his job.
Hi everybody. So my job is I make videos. I make a lot of commercials. So there are a couple different ways I learned to do my job and how I even learned what that job was. The first thing I did was I read about movies and I read about those jobs in my class in school.
He said that he learned from reading books. He said he learned from watching movies and learning from experts.
What are the ways he said he learned his job? What were some of the ways? Can you raise your hand and share? What would he learn
About movies.
Yes, he was reading a lot of books about the subject that he wanted to learn. So how could we teach other people to do the jobs?
I think we should tell them every part of a job.
You think we should tell them every part of our job? Okay, so one way would be telling people.
Hey, what if we draw pictures so if you don't know how to read, then like you'll just see it and then.
All right, so I'm getting some more ideas here.
So because of that, we thought, oh, how would we teach others to do a job? So writing a book was one of them. So we decided to make an informational text of how to do the different jobs that we'd come up with.
Pick your favorite job. Think about the tools you need to do that job and draw them.
Each student chose their favorite job, the job that they liked or knew the most about.
Can I tell me what this picture is? Watering plants. So then this is what is the tool you would need? Okay, so let's put to the tool name watering can.
The first side of the paper had a list of tools that they would need, and then they came up with all the tools. And then the second sheet was the parts of the job, or the responsibilities, like sweeping the playhouse or picking up trash. And the children documented those two parts for their how-to book.
Watch so you remember the script. Hello.
Hello, my name is blank.
Right, so everybody says their name.
And we are the blank.
Once we had learned that one way people learn to do new jobs is through videos, we decided to make our own video. So a parent came in and the children had rehearsed their different parts. And so the parent came and shot each individual part with the goal being we would edit it together to create one training video.
Action.
Hi, my name's Luke.
Hi, my name's Eli.
Hi, my name's Billy. Some tools you will need to do this job are
Watering can.
So the purpose of the training video was to leave something with the school and the students, because we knew as TK students we would not be in this classroom next year. And so in order to make that last and continue to inspire others to take care of the environment, we knew that a video would last.
Our big question for this project was, how can we take care of our environment and inspire other people to help us? Okay, so keep that question in your mind. And along this journey, our class came up with all the things you're about to see.
The final presentation was a training where we invited parents and we invited other students to come and learn the jobs.
Hello, my name is Zoe. And we are the Lunch Snack Team.
We invited kindergarten students because we knew that they would be on this campus next year and they would actually be learning the jobs, and so we wanted a real world aspect to it. Parents we invited to celebrate their learning and to share in their learning that they had done. So often kids this age don't have a lot of power and responsibility, right? They're often the ones that have to follow along or be taught other things, and it's very special for them to be able to teach someone else, especially an older child. I think that's very empowering for them, in the idea that I learned something and I now can contribute to society, I now can create, I now have power around my learning, I can direct my learning. I think those are all the messages that my students are getting from this kind of project.